Today on the Tequila Collective, we're reviewing a bottle of El Tesoro Reposado. Welcome to the Tequila Collective. My name is Rob. Today we are reviewing a bottle of El Tesoro Reposado. Not only is this a great bottle to have in your collection, I believe it's one of the best bottles to start your collection with. But there's more on that later. First, let's get into the review. Instantly I'm getting that cooked agave. It's almost like honey. I would compare it actually a lot to orange blossom honey if you've ever had a chance to try that. There is a really nice citrus, a really nice sweetness as well. I also get some melon, maybe like a cantaloupe, some pineapple comes through. There's just a really beautiful fruity sweetness. And then on top of it, you get these floral elements as well. It smells amazing. Let's give it a taste. What I love about El Tesoro is it is so easy to drink. There is almost no burn whatsoever. If anything, there's just a little bit of warming right here at the bottom of my chest. It tastes delicious. Again, that cooked agave comes through very nicely. The flavor is more floral than it is fruity compared to the aroma, which was the opposite. For the flavor, I get that really nice floral, almost like rose water, like you're walking through a patch of flowers. It just tastes so good. Cooked agave definitely comes through. There's a little bit of minerality, which I also like. And then there's a hint of black pepper on the back end. It's very nice. And like I said, the most important thing to me and why I think this is such a great bottle to start your collection with is that it's just so easy to drink. When it comes to the El Tesoro Reposado, I'm going to recommend this all day. This is such a great bottle. It's relatively easy to find too. You can find it anywhere from your local liquor store to some of the big box stores. So you shouldn't have a hard time finding it. It's just so easy to drink. It's so good. I would give this, I want to say like an 88 or an 89 on Tequila Matchmaker. It's a very, very solid Reposado, especially since it's in that $50-ish price range. It's not too expensive. It's just a really, really good bottle and I highly recommend it. The distillery where El Tesoro is made is La Alteña, which was established in 1937, and the master distiller is Carlos Camarena. Along with El Tesoro, other brands such as Tapatio and Villalobos come from NOM 1139. However, El Tesoro is the most traditionally made tequila that comes from the distillery. Let's get into how El Tesoro is made. So when the agave arrives at the distillery, it is chopped in half, sometimes even quartered, and that makes the agave easier to handle. It also makes it so that the agave can be cooked evenly once it's placed in the brick ovens where steam is used over several days to cook the agave. Once the agave is cooked, a tahona is used to extract the juice, and all a tahona really is a giant volcanic stone. It goes around in a pit crushing the agave, which removes the juice from the agave fibers. Once the juice is extracted from the agave, that juice is then transported into these giant wood fermentation vats. Now, wood fermentation vats, again, are the most traditional way to ferment, and fermentation will take place now over several days. El Tesoro also ferments with fibers, meaning that they take the agave fibers that were just crushed, they place them in these polyurethane bags, and they drop it into the fermentation tank, and that just adds another element when it comes to producing flavors during fermentation. Sticking with the traditional methods, once the fermentation process is complete, distillation can now begin, and distillation at La Alteña for El Tesoro takes place in copper pot stills. Once that distillation process is completed, we now have El Tesoro Blanco, and unlike a lot of brands, El Tesoro actually distills their product to proof, meaning that they don't use a lot of water to get it down to the desired alcohol content. Once distillation has occurred and the Blanco has been produced, that Blanco is then placed in American oak ex-bourbon barrels, which will then rest anywhere from 9 to 11 months in order to create the Reposado. As I mentioned earlier, El Tesoro is a very traditional brand when it comes to every step of the process, whether it's the brick ovens, the tahona stone, the fermentation tanks that are made from wood, or the copper pot stills. Everything they do at La Alteña to make El Tesoro is in the most traditional way possible, and it yields some of the most delicious product. And even though I only talked about the El Tesoro Reposado today, I highly recommend El Tesoro as a brand. Their entire line is fantastic. Whether you want to drink a Blanco, an Extra Añejo, or anything in between, El Tesoro is just a very solid brand, and you can't go wrong with any expression that they offer. Because El Tesoro produces such great product, I highly recommend their entire line, but when it comes to starting your own collection, and maybe you don't have a lot of experience in the tequila world yet, I think the El Tesoro Reposado is the best place to begin. I really can only think of a couple bottles that are on the same level when it comes to starting a collection, and El Tesoro is just right up there with how easy it is to find, how good it tastes, how easy it is to drink as well, and the price point is right. It's not an expensive bottle. It should be around the $50 price range, and it just makes it such a great bottle to start your collection with, or just to have as a daily sipper. The other thing I love about El Tesoro is the actual bottle. It has a very classic look to the shape with a little bit of a modern twist. The color of this reddish pink label is really pretty and very eye-catching. And as silly as it might sound, the bottle's really easy to hold, which makes pouring a glass very easy. And best of all, the top is actually a mini replica of the Tahona that's actually used at La Alteña. So just to recap, whether you're starting your collection, you're just getting on your tequila journey, or you've been drinking tequila for quite some time, I can't recommend the El Tesoro Reposado enough. That does it for this episode of the Tequila Collective. If you liked this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and make sure to turn on notifications so you'll be the first to know when more videos like this drop in the future. Make sure to leave a comment if you have any questions about El Tesoro or anything else discussed in this video. And if you want to see certain bottles reviewed in future episodes, make sure to leave that in the comments as well. To find more Tequila Collective content, make sure to follow us on Instagram at @the_Tequila Collective or on TikTok at The Tequila Collective. And if you're into podcasts, make sure to check out the Tequila Collective podcast wherever you get your podcast. Thanks for watching, and as always, follow for more tequila tips.